Flamingo strike ignites Putin's fury as Russia unleashes a fresh missile barrage on Kyiv. Ukraine hits Russia's satellite hub as Moscow answers with a major barrage on Kyiv. Putin's forces come roaring back at the capital as Zelensky pushes Russia's red lines. Worst yet to come? Putin's payback for Samara could bring fresh trouble for Zelensky and Kyiv. Russia-Ukraine war intensifies as Moscow steps up pressure and issues a fresh warning to Turkey over the conflict. Russian forces launched a missile attack on Kyiv, sparking fires in 2 districts during the night of August 15th to 16th. Kyiv authorities said 1 person was injured as explosions rocked the capital after 2 a.m. amid the Russian missile attack. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said falling debris from intercepted missiles ignited fires in the city's northern suburbs. Another fire broke out south of central Kyiv, while several cars were reportedly damaged during the overnight attack. Ukraine said its long-range strikes hit a Russian military airfield and a rocket facility in the Samara region. President Zelensky said Ukraine used Flamingo cruise missiles to strike the Russian rocket facility during the operation. Kyiv said the Progress rocket center in Russia's Samara region caught fire after suffering direct hits in the Ukrainian strike. The Samara facility reportedly produced rockets for Russia's Rassvet satellite internet network, according to Ukrainian claims. Kyiv said the strikes were aimed at damaging Russia's ability to launch long-range attacks deep inside Ukrainian territory. Ukraine said the attacks also targeted facilities supporting Russia's military operations and its expanding satellite communications network. The US has moved to authorize Turkey's transfer of US-made weapons and missiles to Ukraine, according to RT. The proposed package reportedly includes 70 ATACMS missiles and 12 M270 rocket launchers for Ukraine. Turkey's stocks also reportedly include more than 2,500 M26 rockets equipped with cluster warheads. The package includes 47,000 cluster artillery shells and is valued at around $280 million, according to reports. The US State Department submitted the proposed weapons transfer to Congress on August 6 for approval. However, Russia has warned that the transfer could damage Moscow's relations with both Washington and Ankara. A Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson said the proposed deal would further undermine mutual trust between the countries, RT reported. Maria Zakharova questioned why the US and Turkey were opening what she called another Pandora's box. Maria Zakharova said, and I quote, "Attempts to use peacemaking rhetoric while simultaneously supplying weapons to Ukrainian Nazis inevitably undermine mutual trust. The issue is not only the casualties and destruction that the authorities in Kyiv seek to increase, but also the serious damage to our bilateral relations with Washington and Ankara." Unquote. Russia also questioned how and when the American-made weapons would ultimately reach Ukraine if the proposed transfer receives approval. Moscow had previously warned that Western long-range weapons were deepening NATO's role in the Ukraine war and increasing escalation risks. The European Union is set to provide Ukraine with €1.5 billion in 2026 to procure medium and long-range missiles for its armed forces. The funding will come through the European Union's Defense Loan Program, designed to strengthen Ukraine's military capabilities during the ongoing war. The new missiles are expected to support Ukraine's ability to carry out long-range strikes against Russian military infrastructure and strategic targets. The weapons are reportedly set to be produced through a joint venture between Ukraine and an unnamed European Union member state. Officials have not yet disclosed whether the missiles being developed will be cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, or a combination of both. Ukraine could receive as much as €40 billion from the European Union's €90 billion defense loan program by the end of 2026 if approved. Poland is now considering sending additional Patriot missile systems and interceptors to Ukraine, according to a report by the Kyiv Independent. The move comes after a suspected Russian missile reportedly entered Polish territory during a large-scale Russian attack on Ukraine on July 30th. Polish authorities scrambled F-16 fighter jets after an unidentified aerial object crossed into the country's airspace during the Russian missile barrage. Prime Minister Donald Tusk later said the object was most likely a Russian Kh-101 cruise missile that had inadvertently strayed into Polish territory. Tusk also said Warsaw would review the possibility of providing additional military support to Ukraine following the latest cross-border security incident.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.